to try something on you. So, because I just found out, I just did the DNA test recently. So let's just say you're getting Geet Walla in America. I can't wait to give a deek at your performance.
Give a deek?
Yeah.
You're going to deek my performance?
Yes.
Have a deeks, right? That's perfect. I have a deeks, or you'd say, I have a deeks, or you go, I have a little deeky.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
I'm getting there.
Geet Walla as well? That's mad.
Yeah.
You're getting there. You've got to be a bit more guttural.
Guttural.
So you got to look at geet. It's a geet. And you're going gan is it to say, so you say like gan means go. Okay. So I'd say, oh, you gan like this. So you go like this.
Hey,
you know?
I mean, there's a whole lingo. It's incredible.
It's a different. It's a total different world.
But to go back to you, we'll start with you. You kind of went from 0 to 60 in terms of fame. I mean, like in a matter of seconds, just like a fast sports car.
It went mad, yeah.
So what do you do to stay grounded?
Just go home and get a slap off my dad. You know what I mean? Okay, go see my parents. Go see my friends. I tend to. I mean, tour in America is kind of, and coming to Canada is a bit of a grounder anyway, because nobody knows who we are really over here. So it's kind of like, it's a lot more chill over here. But I think mainly to stay grounded, just do selfless things. Like I like to see my godfather's kids. They're kind of like my surrogate, they're like my surrogate sort of brother and sister. And I like to just talk to them about their day at school, and just do normal things. Have normal conversations. Yeah. Speak about school and what's going on with Dominic, and how's Emily dealing with primary school. She's about to go to high school. She's 11 years old. She's about to start high school, and sorry, no, she's not. She's 10, and she's going to start high school in a year, and that's pretty crazy. I just like to talk to her about that sort of stuff, and speak to my friends about their normal lives and talk about the kids and stuff.
I think everybody's like kind of behind you. They're all like really proud of you, from what I can see on the comments.
That's really,
and they're really personal. Like, oh, I just talked to your dad. He says, they're obviously people that are very close to you guys.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit back when you were a kid. So you just talked about kids, but back when you were like, I guess you would say a lad. What was there a time where music went from something that you heard to something that you felt?
Yeah, probably about 12, 13. I think when I hit. Like, actually not even earlier than that. I think like 10, 11, 12. That's when it really happened for me. But I mean, music was always something that I felt, I think, because my family were very musical, and I was very lucky, like the first sort of 10 years of my life was a really like comfortable musical family sort of realm. In the house there was a lot of musicians coming in and out. So like, there was always music playing. My dad was always cooking the music. There would always be be playing soul music. Like there'd be Sam and Dave and Spencer Davis group and Steely Dan, and there'd be like loads of mad jazz rock and loads of crazy stuff going on. And I had an ear for it very early on, because my dad was always singing and my brother was always singing, so it wasn't uncommon to sing in the house, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a weird thing to sing. Yeah. People would just sing. So I've always felt at home when I heard music, and it was always something that I could relate to. My brother always had his drum kit set up upstairs. My brother was always playing drums and stuff, you know what I mean? So like, there was always stuff there. I was surrounded by so much of it that it was kind of a really, really wonderful childhood to kind of grow up around that. But I think 10, 11, 12, when you start hitting puberty, that's when it really means something to you. Because you start, I didn't have an identity, and the only thing that ever gave us identity, or the only thing that ever gave us self-confidence, was music, because it was the only thing that I was kind of good at. I sucked at school, and I sucked at sports, and I sucked at everything else, and teenagers need to have that sense of belonging. I think, you always see, that's why kids always group off into their different social groups, and they have that, they've got the sporty kids, and you had all the goths and emos and stuff like that, and like, I was a little bit of an emo and that when I was younger, and I think that like that meant something. It meant a lot to us, you know what I mean? It's very tribal.
You grew up kind of what we would call here the hood, like the kind of the poor area of town.
Nah, not really. No? Like, I started the first sort of 10 years of my life, I was in a terrace house with my dad and my mum, and they were, my mum was a nurse and my dad was an electrician. You'd call that the start would just be suburbia, sort of lower middle class. But then when my parents split up, I moved to an estate in Shields with my mother and lived in a small flat, and that's when me and my mum had no money really. And my mum wasn't very well, she was mentally ill, and she was struggling to work, and we were living off the government, off the state, and DWP were trying to force her to go back to work, and she had to go to 3 tribunals, she had to go to court a lot, and that was tough. When I was like 15 onwards, that's when it was like me and my mother we were struggling to pay rent, and we were both on benefits, and that was tough.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from that time? To be a man.
Yeah, probably. I think I mean whatever that means. Yeah, I had to become pretty independent pretty quick. So I was working from that age, and I was, I was going to college through the day, and then I was working in a restaurant in the night and working in a bar, and then I left college. I failed college because I didn't really. Yeah, circumstance was tough. It was tough. And I was skint. I had no money. My mom had no money. And it was only us two. And then I was just struggling because it was unsavory circumstances. There was black mold on the walls in my house and stuff, and the place was kind of falling to pieces, and we're just in a small flat together, and I had to become independent, and I had to help my mother, and that was kind of tough because I wasn't, I was a kid. And then I think from that though, I knew that things weren't going to be easy anyway with music, and I knew that it wasn't going to be an easy sort of run. So when I started doing my music, I think I was desperate. I was desperate for it to work, and I think that desperation came across in my voice when I met my manager, because I sang like it was my last night on earth in that bar where I worked. I used to work behind the bar, but he walked in, and my bar manager at the time noticed who he was and sent me out with a guitar, and then I basically sang my heart out, and I didn't know who he was, and he was Ben Howard's manager, and then he took me on, and then the sort of 6 years after that, I wrote some good songs, and I think that's probably what I probably learned that. I probably learned how to be tenacious, I think.
And your new album is just coming out in the next few days, on August 9th.
Yeah.
Hypersonic Missiles.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows now that I know more about your childhood, how you're not afraid to tackle the hard things in life. You're not just like singing about superficial stuff. So what do you think it means to be a man in 2019? Or what should I say, a gaji?
Oh, I didn't mean to be a gaji. A man in 2019. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. But I think being a good man is what I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I'm trying to figure out how to be more selfless. I'm trying to figure out how to be. I think we're living in a world of rapid change, and it's important to fight for the injustices, I think, because there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and I think the man in 2019, to be a good man in 2019, I think you've got to kind of try and put your finger on the pulse and try and be proactive, maybe politically, because there's a lot of shit that needs to be fought for at the moment, I think.
To be self-aware and take action.
Yeah. I think, that's...
We'll get on to some less heavy stuff. You met Sting earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is there other heroes that you'd like to meet, apart from Arcade Fire?
Yeah, I'd love to meet Arcade Fire.
Well, maybe Jason's gonna hook you up.
I went for dinner at Elton John's house recently.
Oh, cool.
Elton John's a fan, and he was amazing, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that, and he's been a friend since then, and we've got on really well with him. But I don't know, man. If there's anybody else, Bruce Springsteen, I'd like to meet him. I'd love to meet Joni Mitchell, but I don't think she's very well. And I'd love to meet a lot of the people I'd want to meet are dead.
Unfortunately, it happens.
Like, I would have loved to have met Aretha Franklin, and I would have loved to have met any other artist. Would have loved to have met Jeff Buckley.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Best rendition of Hallelujah.
Yeah, of course, by a mile.
So, you were recently on the Late Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
What was going on in your head? Like, you're in the green room. You're walking towards the stage. What feelings did you have at that moment?
Trying not to shit myself. I was trying not to actually shit my pants. I felt disgusting that day. I was really bad. I had a really bad stomach, and I was terrified, and I was really nervous. But I just had that moment where I was like, "Fucking hell, this is surreal. This is actually happening." Just go and grab it by the balls. You know what I mean?
I think even Jimmy kind of came up to you at the end and was like, "See, you did it." Like
Yeah.
it seemed like he was on your side.
Yeah, it was wild. He was wonderful.
Maybe one of my last questions: has anyone said to you, "Here's a bag of crisps"?
Gives a bag of crisps. Wait, aye, all the time. All the time, aye. All the time.
So explain what that means.
Gives a bag. Just means give me a bag of crisps.
No, apparently it's a diss when you ask somebody out and they'll say that.
Nah, never heard that one.
Okay.
Gives a bag of crisps.
Yeah.
Nah. Gives
Means,
a.
I'm not interested.
Nah, I've never heard that. Like, never heard that one. But I'm from Newcastle, and I've never ever heard that one. I'll tell you some proper ones. Had away and shite.
Hideaway and shite.
Like, had away and shite. That means like, shut up, man. Or it means like, you're talking rubbish. It means you're talking bullshit. So someone's like, oh yeah, the other day I like fucking won the lottery. I won 500 quid. I had away and shite. Liars. Bullshit.
Anyway, I don't want to take advantage of your time.
No.
I thank you so much for.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
What we did.
Thanks a lot, man.
You're playing the Astral. You're going to be coming back.
Yeah.
So you're staying around the area for a little while?
Oh no.
You're just going to fly back and
We're
forth?
flying back tonight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Flying back to England.
Have a great festival, man.
Thank you very much, brother. Take care.
This too is the gospel.